Okay, problem number 5. All right, so we want to graph problem number 5. The thing is that there's a lot of information we have to know in order to graph. Okay, the first thing we have to know is the vertex. To find the vertex, we have to find an x and a y. It's a point. The vertex is a point. It has an x and it has a y. That is crucial to understanding. Okay? To find the x value of the vertex, it is negative b divided by 2a. Okay? That's what it is. Negative b divided by 2a. It's just a fraction. Alright? B is the number next to x because it all comes from this idea right here. F of x is equal to a. This is just the general formula, general standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the general standard form right there. Okay? So b is the number in front of x to the first power. So in this case, it's a 4. A is the number in front of x squared. So in this case, it's a 1. So then I could say x is equal to negative 4. Put a space there. Negative 4 divided by 2 times 1. Well, we know that we have to figure out the denominator first. 2 times 1 is 2. And negative 4 divided by 2 is a negative 2. So we know that the x value of the vertex is negative 2. So then the question might be, how do I go about finding the y value? What you do is you take this negative 2 value and you plug it in for x in both positions up here. Okay? So let's let a calculator do this number crunching for us. Okay? If I let a calculator do the number crunching. Now, this is key. Make sure that you... My calculator's not wanting to turn on right now. I do not know why. Hold on. Okay, I got my calculator. So, what we do is take this negative 2, plug it in for x in both positions. Make sure that, and when you are squaring a negative number in a calculator, you put it in parentheses. The reason that is because a calculator follows PEMDAS very specifically. Okay? And when you put that negative sign into a calculator, it does not read as negative 2. It reads as negative 1 times 2. So when you don't put it in parentheses, this is how the calculator does this. It says negative 1 times 2 squared. So it does the exponent first. It says 2 squared is 4. Then it does negative 1 times 4, which is a negative 4. But that's not right if I'm actually squaring a negative 2, because I know that negative 2 squared is the same thing as negative 2 times negative 2. Whoops, I forgot to put my multiplication sign there. Times. Okay. And boom, so I got 4. Alright? So I know that negative 2 squared is a positive 4. So let's just plug it all in. I just wanted to tell you guys that because a lot of y'all make that mistake on accident. Okay? So let's just plug it all in as once. So negative 2 squared in parentheses plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. Press enter and I get negative 9. So I know that the y value of the vertex is a negative 9. So bam! That is my vertex. My vertex is the point negative 2, negative 9. Okay? So I'm going to jump over a slide here just because I'm going to get ready to graph here in a second. And I know that the vertex is the point negative 2, negative 9. The next thing I need is the axis of symmetry. Okay, when I was grading your test, a big thing y'all are still forgetting to say x equals. The axis of symmetry is not just a random number. It is x equals the, it is x equals the x value of the vertex. That's negative 2. So x equals negative 2. The y-intercept. Again, the y-intercept is a point. That means that it needs to have both an x value and a y value. Okay? So, we know that the y-intercept is where I cross the y-axis. I know when I cross the y-axis, x is always 0. So I can say parentheses, 0, comma. Now I can plug in my y value. Well, we have to figure out what is the y-intercept. Where do I cross the y-axis? Jump back over here. Look at x squared plus 4x minus 5. If you were to, you know that x should be 0, right? So if you were to plug in a 0 for x here and here, you would get 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 5. Well, what's the only thing that's going to, it's 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 5. The only thing you're going to have is a negative 5. So then I know that this is negative 5. Oh, let me extend this a little bit. There you go. So I know my y-intercept. The next big thing is finding the x-intercepts. All right, we're going to find the x-intercepts on this page. I'm going to get rid of some stuff. All right, and we're going to find the x-intercepts on this page. I'm going to delete all this. And now what we're going to do is find the x-intercepts. Okay, so let's do that. To find the x-intercepts, what you do is you take your equation and you set it equal to 0. Okay, so what we're really doing now is we're saying x squared plus 4x minus 5 must equal 0. Okay, now how have we talked about solving quadratics? By factoring. Alright, so we start off looking for a greatest common factor. There isn't one, so that means that I can just go straight to tic-tac-toe. Once again, I apologize for my terrible drawing abilities. But there we go. I put the quadratic term in the top left, so that'd be x squared. I put the constant in the middle, multiply the two, I get negative 5x squared. You then need to think, you put the linear term over here, so that's 4x. So you need to think about what are two numbers that multiply negative 5x squared, but add to 4x. 5x and negative 1x. You then ask yourself, x squared and 5x, what do they have in common? Just x. X squared and negative 1x, what do they have in common? Just x. X times what is 5x? 5. X times what is negative 1x? Negative 1. Go across, go across. So our two parentheses are x minus 1, x plus 5, and we're making this equal to 0 because I'm trying to find the x-intercepts, so that's where y would be 0. Okay, so that's why I'm making it equal 0. So then, to find the x value for my two x-intercepts, I set each parentheses equal to 0. So I'm going to do it for the first one. X minus 1 equals 0, so then x equals 1. So the x-intercept here is the point 1, 0. Alright, now I take my x plus 5. I don't need the parenthesis sign. X plus 5. I set that equals 0. I solve for x by subtracting 5 on both sides. So x equals negative 5. So then the x-intercept point is negative 5, 0. So those are my two x-intercept points. 1, 0 and negative 5, 0. Notice, I put these in parentheses because these are points. Okay? You got to make sure you're doing that. Put them in parentheses. Make sure you're including the x value and the y value. Alright? And on x-intercept, that's where I cross the x-axis, so we know the y value should always be 0. That's why I set it equal to 0. Alright? Now, I have all the information I need to graph. So I start off graphing the vertex. Negative 2, 1, 2, negative 9. Be right, nope, not right there, right here. Oh, let's not use that color. Let's use red. It's kind of a darker color. It gives us a better shade. Maybe it's more fall. That's my wife's Instagram models would tell her. Alright. Y-intercept is 0, negative 5. So that's going to be right there. My two x-intercepts are the points 1, 0. So that's going to be right there. And negative 5, 0. So that's going to be right there. Now, the only thing I haven't plotted so far is my axis symmetry. So let's go plot my axis symmetry. And we'll do this in an orangey color to really get that fall feeling. Even though I guess now it's more winter. So I guess I should have done it in green. But, oh wow, I'm really bad at this. I do apologize for how bad my lines are. Okay, so there's my axis symmetry. Now, why do I care about my axis symmetry? Because I can find the fifth point by using my axis symmetry. Because we know that parabolas are reflective. Or symmetric, sorry. We know that parabolas are symmetric. So we know the distance from the y-intercept to the axis symmetry, there's another point that's the same distance away. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So then we know there's a point happening right there. 1, 2. Okay. Ah, did I change color? I did change color. Awesome. So then I have all my 5 points, and I'm ready to graph. Now, again, this is going to look just absolutely terrible because I'm trying to do this on my little computer pad. Alright, but y'all should get the idea from there. And there we go. That is our graph. Alright? So, I hope this kind of clears that up for you. Alright? Please let me know if after watching this video there's still something like, whoa, I didn't get what you did at, this part of the video. Please take a moment and call me over because we're going to retake that test tomorrow. Today it's just about you guys correcting that test. Then we're going to retake this test tomorrow. Okay? All right, thanks.